Hello, love wrestling. It's Thursday night. It's 8 p.m. And you know what that means. It's another new episode of Between Two Beards.
Can we start off with the biggest news of the week? The Rats lost! But every night I make a new best friend, and the only problem is you're not giving a good time. Look at yourself now. If you've got the budget, I've got the time.
There he is.
Hey, boss!
There's the boss.
Hey!
The man with the finest beard on this screen.
Canadian men, boys, shut the hell up. Let me talk.
You see, the Rads are resourceful. When I got beef with somebody, I can find a way to talk to them.
Between two beers.
Getting down.
Hello, love wrestling. It is Thursday night. It is 8 p.m. And y'all know what that means.
I still don't know what that means. You gotta tell them what it means, JPJ. We gotta tell them.
It means it's another new episode of Between Two Beards, episode 113.
Insanity.
It is. Have guys here, and it's time for some blowing of the budgets. We got Culp in here saying good evening. We're having a good time.
Torpedo Swogs. What's up? How are you?
Yeah, how's everyone doing on this fine Thursday?
Where's our name today?
Oh God, do we not have our names, bro?
We spent so much money on the budget that our names are gone.
Oh,
like, what are we doing here? We should go. With the
hey, now we're looking like a show.
We know what we're doing around
Yeah,
here. We might have to get Zach to rework our intro because we became best friends with the Rads last week.
It's true. It's
like,
true.
That's a wild time.
The Rads were here last week. Sullivan's in the chat. Sully. Hear that all the way in Boston.
The intermission clip we made for Sullivan with Sullivan is now like it's outdated.
Yeah. But
Spencer's fire.
Yeah, we had the Rads on last week. You could say that last week was really the definitive
conversation.
Rads interview, I think.
Don't mind me, just opening up some water.
It's just a canned water, bro?
Yeah, bubbly key lime pie.
Oh, bubbly. That's not water.
That's
sparkling water. Yeah, so you gotta add sparkling. You can't just say
it's hot, man. It's hot. It's hot out there. I just got done coaching.
You can't just say I'm opening a water and then it's a sparkling water. It's just two different things.
No, it's not. Water and sparkling water are the same. It's water.
If I said, Pluggo, hand me a water, and I, without looking, took a sip and there was bubbles in that shit, I would punch you in the stomach. I would punch you in the stomach. Because it's not the same.
Water.
It's not the same.
Sparkling water is my favorite.
That's fine. I know plenty of people that like sparkling water. I will dive into a sparkling water. What I'm saying is, if I said, give me a water, and you gave me a sparkling water, I would fight you after. I would fight you.
We gotta have guys saying it feels like episode.
They're agreeing with me.
Baby in the house. What's up, fellas? Hope saying we got fired by Spencer who's going to have name tags, and Sullivan said it's different. Half guys saying it's different. Pluggo, please hand here, JPJ.
Thank you.
Here you go.
You're not supposed to show it. Thanks. But yeah. Anyway, that's the end of our heated water debate.
No, this one's pretty solid.
Yeah. You know, Pluggo.
So you're like not drinking sparkling water ever, or just?
I usually do not. The only time I drink sparkling water or sparkling whatever is if it's with alcohol. That's usually.
That's fair.
That's usually when I do that. If I'm drinking a water, which I drink a lot of water, it's just regular, good old fashioned spring water, smart water, whatever. One of those.
Do you feel smarter when you drink smart water, or do you just feel hydrated?
I just feel wonderfully hydrated. And it has what does it have? Electrolytes.
Electrolytes. Yeah, you know.
That's why it's smart.
I believe it or not, given the size of myself, I don't drink a ton of soda, but I love these, so that's what I drink.
It's fair. It's fair. The carbohydration. What is it? What am I? The
carbohydrates.
Just the bubbles.
Yeah, the carbohydrate.
Whatever.
The carbonation.
Yeah, that's too much
carbonation.
Carbonation. That's what I'm looking for. It's too much at times for me, and I'm just like, okay, I can't.
Does anybody in the chat actually drink sparkling water? Or am I all by myself?
No, sparkling water is very popular. It's just not,
Well, I'm asking our chat. I'm asking our friends in the chat if they're drinking sparkling water too, or they are anti-sparkling water.
Have guys with me said the only time you drink sparkling water is if it's like the only thing left. I would do that, obviously.
I would pick a sparkling water over a plain water any day of the week.
God.
That's right.
I mean,
I do a little carbonation in my life.
That's good, man.
But no, I was opening that up because I'm hot. I'm sweaty. I just got done coaching. The boys lost a close one, 8-6, I think it was. To
8-6. That's an exciting game, though.
That we always have in all the games that we play. Now, granted, they're 8 years old, so hey, we're all still learning, we're all having fun. But we always have one inning where it kind of falls apart for us, and that's what happened tonight. We had one inning where it was like, we gave up because you can only score 5 runs and then the inning ends. Yeah, and we gave up a 5-er and battled back, but hey, season's over.
Wait a minute. There's a 5-run cap per inning?
Per inning, yeah. Because if you did not put that cap on that, it could get ugly.
I feel like 5's not enough though.
The under 8, all 8
they're little. They're lit.
Yeah, they're 8. They're 8.
Okay.
Yeah, we're not talking big kids. We're talking.
Okay. For some reason I thought it was like your oldest kid.
Yeah. No. Well, no. My oldest kid, he'll be playing football here next month for high school. That's how old I am.
High school
football. He'll be getting into the phrase.
Speaking of football,
he's learning it early on in his high school football career how much work it is. Because this summer he's like, Dad, I'm at like workouts 2-a-days.
Yeah. So I played football my freshman year of high school. And that was the thing immediately that was the hardest thing for me. Because when I had ever played football before, it was like mainly fun. You know what I mean? Yeah. It was fun. And you were playing and it mattered, but it was fun. And then I got to high school and the first like 4 practices, all we did was run. And I'm fat. So I was like, when do we fucking do plays? When do we do plays? Like, I know how to do the football plays. And they're like, no, we're fucking running. And I was like, this is bullshit. This is bullshit. I'm going to be on the defensive line. Like, I need to be conditioned. That's fine. But I don't need to run like this. I'm not going to be running this much. I'm big. Yeah.
I hear you.
Me and all the other fat shits are in the corner like, oh my, we're puking. Like, oh my God, what is this? When do we get to hit somebody? And it never happened.
Yeah. My oldest, he doesn't ever make an appearance on these shows because, 1, he's respectful of Daddy's recording space, and 2, he's not really here during this, but he's 6 feet tall. He's lengthy. He can handle it. He's tough.
Yeah. Well, speaking of, this week, yesterday, or the day before, training camps opened in the professional football league. So football is upon us. Joe Burrow got hurt today, strained his calf, had to be
go ahead.
On a cart. Jalen Ramsey, the big trade that the Dolphins made to get him over there, I think tore his meniscus. He needs to have surgery. He's going to be out 6 to 8 weeks. As a Patriots fan, pity.
Do you think he talks? Do you think he talks shit to his nurses? Because he talks shit to everybody.
Probably.
How do you feel about this? Speaking of football is back. This came across the old timeline. I meant to put it on our socials, but I just didn't. I couldn't quite make the graphic work the way I wanted to. If you're the Green Bay Packers, how are you feeling about Aaron Rodgers taking a pay cut for the Jets, his new love, his new bride, and for them going, nah, not doing it. Give me all the money when he was in Green Bay. Isn't that like a little slap in the face? Like, come on.
I mean, he was entrenched in Green Bay. He had the power to do that, you know?
And
I mean, he has the power to do it now, but I just feel like he's trying
to not make this look stupid.
Yeah, and they're going to get Dalvin Cook now, I think, because he's going there now for a visit. All of a sudden, Aaron Rodgers shaves $35 million off his contract, and the next day the report is that Dalvin Cook is making his first free agent visit, and it's to the New York Jets. So if you have Breece Hall coming back off a torn ACL and you mix in Dalvin Cook with him,
nice. I need to pick a team this year. I didn't pick one.
You pick the Jets. The show ends.
I think we have to put it to like the wheel thing and then eliminate it.
You pick the Jets. The show ends.
I think what we do is we put it to That's fine.
Firm on that.
I think I draw names out of a hat. The last four we put to a vote.
There's two teams that I would disown you. One of them you should already know. It's my second least favorite sports franchise in all the world. Your wife loves them. And it's her only flaw. It's her only flaw.
When I did this last time, she got mad about me not just picking the Steelers and joining her on that journey.
Ooh, we would have odds. We would have odds. Oh God. Gross. Anyway, all right. All right. Where are we starting? I
don't know. Wherever you want to start, but don't forget to like this video, share it out to your friends, hit that subscribe button. Please let the algorithm know you love us here at Between Two Beers. Not only us, but love wrestling in general.
Yeah,
we're good
100%.
people. We got lots of stuff going on.
Hab guy, they are the lowest tier. The lowest tier. Speaking of love wrestling, tomorrow night.
We're back, baby. LPW's back.
LPW is back. Violence. What are we up to? 17? This is
17? I don't think you said. I think it's like violence because there's exclamation points. You gotta be like, woo!
I know.
17 of these things.
Unbelievable. And we get better and better and better every month. You know the drill. It'll start at 9 p.m. Eastern time. Pluggo, myself, Sully's been in the chat the last few. He's starting to get on the LPW wrestling side of things. Train.
Yeah, he is.
We're usually in the chat for either the whole show or a good chunk of the show. Zach will be in the chat. It's always a good time, and we got some banger matches tomorrow. I think it's the largest scramble match.
Banger after banger.
Is it the largest scramble match?
It is. It's an 8-person scramble match.
8 people.
And the only reason it's not 9 is because our girl TFA will be at the All Women's Defy show.
Yes, she will
which will be dope to see. By the way, to all those companies out there that say, "Oh, we can't do all women shows," I keep seeing them pop up all the time on this independent wrestling scene. So just think about it. You guys sound dumb.
You see the sign on Dynamite last night that they
showed
on camera?
Yeah, we'll talk about it. We can talk about
the women's division more better.
But yeah, they absolutely should. And we should talk about that when we talk about Dynamite. But yes, LPW 17 tomorrow. We got Taylor Rising taking on Jasmine Allure. We got that scramble match you just mentioned. That's Jack Pride. That's TJ Cannon. That's Mars the Specialist versus Rich King, T.Y. Jackson, Larry Woods, and Michael Richard Blaze and Stephen Crow. Because those 3 factions can't get along. So Spencer's like, we're past it. Yeah, we're past it. So
a couple of each of you are going in there.
He goes, we're just throwing you all in there and figure it out. That's going to be super interesting to me because, like, I kind of like the idea of, like, the Rads having to work together with 7 because you got to get the advantage because anything can happen in the scramble match. Jack Pride, our boy, he's got his work cut out for him. What else we got? We got the Zoe Sager versus Gigi Ray in the 3 Stages of Hell.
Yep.
Got to settle that feud. That's going to be awesome. Zoe's been on a run. Gigi's amazing. It's going to be a good time. What am I talking? We got Barack Arani versus Sean Moore. That's going to be cool. That, I would assume, if Sean Moore can get it done, will earn them a title shot at some point for the tag team championships.
And, I had the privilege to interview Amir Jordan. Mm-hmm. He's going to be wrestling tomorrow night. He's going to be going against Son of Irish for the LPW Challenge Championship. So that should be a really, really good time.
And I don't want to spoil it, but if you head over to lovewrestling.ca on the interwebs, I wrote a preview. It made some picks, and I made a couple picks about this match that he just said. Go check it out. That's all I'm going to say.
Yes, absolutely.
Shameless plug.
It's going to be a banger. It's going to be a banger of a show. They always are.
Don't forget about the number one contendership match for Zoe Sager's title, which has got Reed Matthews, Travis Williams, El Asano. Oh my God, I'm blanking right now. Give me a second. My head's, hold on. I just talked about, Jared Rogers is in that thing.
Yep.
And Michael Allen, Richard Clark. Oh my God, what just happened? The heat is getting to me.
The longest name in professional wrestling, baby. The longest name in
How did I forget about the Wily Vet and the longest name in wrestling? Like, what's wrong with me? Anyway.
But it's going to be a great, great show tomorrow night. You'll see a clip of the interview I did with Amir Jordan a little bit later. But before we start diving into the wrestling, I want to talk to you. The wrestling. There's a lot to talk about.
Oh, you didn't even let me ask. Are we paying the bills?
We're paying the bills. We're going to pay the bills. We're gonna talk some NXT tonight, Pluggo. We got Great American Bash on Sunday. Felt like we'll at least do a little mini preview of that. We'll talk about Dynamite. We'll talk about Collision. We'll talk about some AEW stuff a little bit. I want to talk about WWE and the trends that I'm seeing that are pissing me off a little bit. I want to talk about that a little bit, even though I'm still enjoying the product of WWE. I'm still having fun, but there's some things happening that are old trends that I see coming back more and more that are starting to irk me a little bit. So I want to talk about that. But first and foremost, I want to talk about our newest brand partner, and that is the fine people over at BetStamp. Today's podcast is brought to you by the BetStamp app, which is helping thousands of people win at sports betting for free. The same way travelers use Google Flights or Expedia to find the best prices, bettors can now use the BetStamp app to do the same. When you place a bet, the odds given by a sportsbook will determine how much you can possibly win. Even when betting on the same outcome, different sportsbooks will offer varying payouts, and these differences can be huge. Thankfully, BetStamp allows you to easily line shop for the most profitable odds across all sportsbooks. You can click on any matchup and instantly see all the different odds for game lines, player props, and even future bets. Line shopping is the simplest way to find an edge in sports betting and maximize your chances of winning long term. On average, BetStamp users win an extra $1,000 plus yearly just by line shopping. You can find the BetStamp app on the Apple Store, the Google Play Store, or through your browser at www.betstamp.app. That is www.betstamp.app. To access all these benefits, sign up using the promo code right in the middle of your screen right there, Love Wrestling, and start your journey to successful sports betting today. If you forget to use the code upon sign up, do not worry. You can always enter the code in your BetStamp account settings afterwards. So please go check out our friends at BetStamp in the Apple Store, the Google Play Store, or at www.betstamp.app. Boom.
Boom. Crushed it. Nailed it. Like always.
All right.
Need to record that and just use that. I say it every week and I always forget. I don't, because I'm not a pros pro, man. I'm not.
You're not a pros pro. What does that mean?
You're a pros pro when it comes to ad reads. I am not. I can do it, but I'm not great at it. I'm not a pros pro, man.
It's okay. It's okay.
Not all of us. Not all of us kill.
Where do you want to start, people? Let us know in the chat where you want to start. You want to start with?
Yeah. What do you want to talk about?
We can talk about Kevin Owens and his injury.
We'll talk about anything and everything tonight. You just put it in the chat. We got a baseline.
We're gonna have the SummerSlam preview.
Except for you, Sullivan. You can't ask any questions tonight.
We're gonna have a SummerSlam
Just
preview next week, but we can dive into the direction that SummerSlam is starting to take shape and things like that. So let us know in the chat what you're feeling. But man, there is a lot to dive into. There is a lot to discuss. Pluggo, where do you want to start? Maybe I should ask you.
I'm trying to think. So this week,
Sullivan's already yelling at you.
Got him. Just saying. You could ask a question, Ryan. It's okay. I love messing with you. I gotta say, this week, let's see. Cody Rhodes got a documentary coming out.
He does.
And the only reason I want to start there is because I heard some people that saw it at the premiere, reviewed it, yada yada yada, said it's very annoying because how they finished the story. Because it should have ended at WrestleMania, right, JPJ?
Correct. I will. Yes, it should.
But yeah, baby,
we've heard it enough. But yes, that would annoy me, baby. We are going to be discussing that.
Let's do it now. Because it's been 2 weeks. So yeah, I just tried to get your goat there. I wanted you to yell about Cody Rhodes not winning at WrestleMania. I'm excited to watch that thing on Monday. Oh Jesus, Ryan. Well, Ryan, we'll save that question for a minute. But yeah, baby, it's been a couple weeks. It's been longer than a couple weeks. It's been an ongoing issue in AEW since AEW started. They don't know how to book the women's division. They don't know how to put these women in positions to succeed. They always give them about the same time slot. But this last couple weeks, it's been very glaring. The Britt Breaker had a squash match last week on Blood and Guts. You couldn't give them 10 minutes. But you can give, again, and I'm not saying the Adam Cole MJF stuff isn't fantastic, but you gave them a 3-minute dance off in a ring. You can't. Hey,
that was magic, man.
I understand. No, I understand, but that's the first thing that the internet's going to go to and say, this is part of your show, but you can't get, the women can't get 10 minutes.
For sure.
We can't get 20 minutes. We can't figure out a way to book them in spots that make sense. And I don't want to hear anybody going, well, they don't draw. How do you know they don't draw? They don't give them a chance to draw.
That's where my argument starts. And the sad thing is, Tony Khan has said that before. He's used that narrative before, which is he's the booker, he's the dude. So if he feels like that, when is it going to change? Because the people that say, well, it doesn't draw well. If you don't invest the time to build your characters or build stories involving your characters, they're not going to draw because nobody's going to give a shit because there's nothing to give a shit about. And that's where we're at. Jade Cargill, who is this you see her and you're like, that's a once in a lifetime. Nobody has ever looked like that. She got better in front of our eyes. She was 55, whatever it was, 50-0, 55-0.
And they kind of just blew it.
She had meaningful matches. Most of the matches were good, her big time matches, but she did not have one meaningful story.
What's up, Tom Talks Rubbish?
What's going on, buddy? How are you, friend?
Check out our interviews over on Fightful Overbooked.
Yeah, on Fightful Overbooked. Loving Wrestling with Tom Talks Rubbish. We have interviews, both of us individually. Mine dropped today. I think Pluggo's dropped a little bit.
I think he's scared to get us both together because just chaos will ensue.
I think so. He knows. He watches this stuff. He knows. He's
but
I can wrangle one of them at a time. Both
no. On their shows, it's one thing, but on mine, he tries to keep it.
I don't like that I don't like that argument.
It's a bad argument.
They don't draw as well as the men. Okay, well, you're not giving us anything meaningful. Nobody's going to want to draw eyes to the women if there are no compelling stories involving the women.
And if you throw the match at the same time every week, everybody goes, oh, here's the 9:20 women's match before the main event. Instead of throwing it at different times, or like you said, build some stories that mean something. And I was thinking a lot about this week, and I'm trying to think who I was listening to. It might have been Sullivan in the Mark Order yesterday when they were talking about it a little bit, and I was chiming in the chat he's got now. Tony Khan has ROH. He's got Collision, he's got Rampage, he's got Dynamite, he's got the other, Battle of the Belts, all these. He needs to give that pen up a little bit. I know it's hard to do for somebody with his kind of money and his kind of ego, yada, yada, yada. But it's not, he can't book these shows perfect every week. And if he's glaringly dropping the ball with the women's division to the point where people are bringing signs to your show, it's saying book the women's division better.
And then they show it on air.
And then they showed it on air. I bet you anything that cameraman got fired or reprimanded. I'm sure.
No. He maybe got talked to. Who knows? But maybe they said, "Hey, show the freaking thing."
But they have to do something. And I don't want them to only do something next week and go, "See, look at what you did." No, I want you to invest some time. You've got Britt Baker, who's phenomenal. Jamie Hayter, when she comes back, she's phenomenal. Tony Storm is great. Like.
They got plenty of talent. Jade will come back. Blue Sky Blue has gotten better.
Taya Valkyrie's killing it.
And I know last night was a little rough. Taya did look a little rough during that match last night, but Taya Valkyrie, you have. But my thing, and also another thing is, I watched Death Before Dishonor last weekend, and I see a main event match, which we can talk about that match too. I see a main event match with Athena and Willow. That is one of the best wrestling matches of the year, period. And I go, okay. And I know the stories in Ring of Honor aren't like spectacular either, but you can book that. It's the same guy.
Yeah.
You can book that. I can watch that match and go, holy shit.
Mm-hmm. This is, by the way, stay tuned after us over on Twitch for the ROH Reacts with Kyle and Dude Felice. But no, what I was going to say,
you can book that. But yet you can't. What? How do you can't do that on both? I don't know.
The only time the women have main evented is when it's Thunder Rosa or Britt Baker on AEW.
And that was a great match.
And that was a great match. You
That's
can't lean on them forever.
In the history of the company, but that you doing it one time, like you just said, you doing that one time doesn't mean that it's like, okay, well we did it. No. You're supposed to do that. You're supposed to,
You're supposed to, again, and I know you mentioned it, and I could tell on the internet, the internet trolls were like, see, that's why the women's matches, because Taya had a bad match. You know how many men's matches have botches too, or miscues, or missteps, especially in AEW, which is a product we both love and we both hold in a high regard. And it happens, but it's wrestling. It's supposed, nobody's perfect, but the second a women's match has a botch in it, it's like, oh, we can't. Calm down. Jesus Christ, you guys. It happens all over the place. And they just, again, in meaningful stories. And WWE had this problem for a long time, too. And it was the Give the Divas a Chance movement. And they've started to figure it out. They're not perfect by any stretch yet either with their women's division, but it is far and away booked better than this one.
Oh, yeah. This is not even...
I can't imagine. It's just like you have a superstar, Britt Baker. You can't give her more to do. You've got, Sky Blue, who's on the come up. Like you said, like you got to be able to give them something more to do. That, like, come on, man.
Yeah.
Some of the botches
we got Mike from Indeed popping in here.
Oh, Mike's in the house.
Mike, our buddy Mike is here. I agree. Yeah, I agree with you, Sully. Like WWE still kind of has it too, but. I just feel like it's just you got to do something better. And we got Tom saying that, by the way, all of us together will happen. So that's something I look forward to. We'll be easy. We'll be easy.
We'll keep it contained for you, Tom.
Yeah, but I just thought that was crazy that they showed that on camera, unless it wasn't a directive from the boss himself.
But again, maybe that's something that they need, right? Maybe that cameraman, it was a mistake, whatever. However you want to spin it. If I'm Tony Khan and I'm the EVPs and I'm whoever, I sit down and I go, okay, they're now bringing the signs in. This is no longer a Twitter sphere thing. Yeah. This is
the issue is not the fact that the sign was on TV. The issue is why did that person bring the sign?
And the issue because you're not the issue.
Exactly.
Because you're not booking your women's division properly enough. And let's be honest, that's how you're gonna compete with, get those ratings up as you book strong throughout your whole card. Because again, that's a glaring hole that everybody that's watched AEW knows. Well, I can skip this one, or I can skip that one, and it's 10 minutes, 15 minutes. I don't even think they get 15 full minutes. I think they get like 10 minutes and they're out of there, and then you don't hear anything. Or the old trope was they would do the interview all in one segment, cram it in, and call it a day. And it's like, sprinkle that shit out.
Yeah.
You hope I'm right, Brian? I hope I'm right. I love wrestling. I'm not just saying that because I work for Love Wrestling. I truly enjoy wrestling. I truly enjoy women's wrestling a lot. There are so many talented individuals out there in the women's wrestling game that don't get highlighted. And AEW has a great roster. It used to be they don't have the women's division like the WWE has. No, they've got incredibly talented women. They have to put them in the place to succeed. I hope to God that they figure it out, because it's quite frustrating to see that every week. And again, I don't like to be the guy that's like, well, they should have. Well, you can cut some of the stuff down a little bit to fit more time in for the women and give them an opportunity. You have to give them opportunities. Like, why aren't we opening the show with a banger of a women's match? Like, why can't we do that?
Yep. 100%.
Why not? Toni Storm is the champ. Why isn't she featured more?
Yeah.
What's wrong with her? You know what I mean? She's your champion. And I can almost assure you people have to think about it. That's how little she's on the TV.
She's not on the she's not. She should be featured every week.
And I don't like the other thing I keep seeing. He did reply to Pluggo. Who replied to me? What are you talking? Oh. We'll talk about that here if we tie a bow on this.
We'll
talk about my NWA tweet.
Did it get a reply?
Well, somebody mentioned it. We'll talk about it. There's a couple. Somebody asked if I was a juggalo. We'll discuss here shortly.
Do you know what we can discuss? Do you know what kind of world we're living in where it was a relief that announcement was somebody from the Insane Clown Posse?
All right.
Just think about that for a second. That somebody from somebody from the Insane Clown Posse was announced to show up at a wrestling event, and everyone was like, "Oh, thank God, thank God."
For those that I guess don't know, the NWA just tweeted out a couple days ago, "Whoop whoop," and I had put on social media. Did I put it on Twitter? I don't remember, but I put it on Facebook, and I just said, "Billy, please, God, don't do it. Please don't do it." And I put a picture of the Insane Clown Posse underneath the whoop whoop tweet, because please, God, Billy, don't book the ICP. Just don't do it. I don't want to see it.
Yeah, but then it took a turn.
And then
a lot of people thought that it was going to be Marty Scurll.
Yeah.
And everyone was like, no. And then everyone was like, that can't happen. That can't happen. No. And then it turned out that it was the dude from ICP.
The other person in the running for that vague tweet was Superhuman. For those that don't know,
equally been dumb.
Just as bad. NWA,
man. NWA.
Then I find out this morning. I wake up this morning.
Who did someone respond to your shit? Is that what we're getting at?
I don't know. I don't know. I didn't even know
in the chat said that you got a reply.
Did I? I didn't. From where?
I don't know. He did reply to Pluggo. That's what somebody.
Are you,
Mike? Exactly. Think about that. Think
well,
about
that's the thing.
Like, on Earth right now, that sentence is being written.
Did I post?
What a time! What a time!
All right, somebody's gonna have to cue me into the reply I got, because I don't know what you're talking about.
What a time!
But yeah, that's the thing. Like, I had 22 people, and
Oh, your shit's blowing up, guy. That's what's going on.
I had 22 people on Facebook yesterday talk to me about it, but I don't know about a reply. But I do know that I woke up.
That has nothing to do with the freaking.
A Plugalo, and he answers to it. He answered.
God.
Plugalo. So do we dive into like my ICP history, or do we let that
Do you
go?
actually have a history with ICP?
Not like a history with them per se. Let's just say this.
Were you at one point? Oh,
I was. Well, here we'll save the ICP chatter.
That's what we call
it. Tease. We have a guest joining us, friends, and he is what they in the business call audible chocolate because his voice is so silky smooth. Big Bad Boris, stud judge. Big Bad Boris, what's up, brother?
This is the time they decide to check the goddamn microphone. It's when I decide I want to run in here.
Unbelievable! It's like they were like, "Oh, Boris is doing something. Let's ruin it."
We were just talking ICP, Boris. So,
like the Insane Clown Posse.
Yes. Are you a fan?
Oh, Jesus Christ! Apparently, like Violent J is going to be at like the NWA show.
NWA. That's literally what we're talking about. Yeah.
No, it's weird with those guys because they respect the business a lot, and you know whatever you want to say about their music or whatever. But they've been everywhere. They worked everywhere.
True, it's true. They literally went everywhere.
Okay, this is pissing me off.
Who's that behind you in that sparkly jacket? That is sharp.
That is the Canadian Goose. Get over here, Goose.
Oh, Goose!
Hey, Goose!
We stopped the sound check. We're good to go.
Get over
here.
Nice,
Spencer. Look at that suit jacket.
Honk, man. That's a nice jacket. Tell him that's a nice jacket.
Who the fuck is over here?
Hi, man. Hi, best friend.
We can't touch, but you can get pretty close to the screen.
Okay. Is that good?
As close as you get.
I respect your space.
Thank you. That's nice.
Don't worry, Hab guy. Don't worry, Hab guy. I'll tell the stories.
TJ Cannon's hanging out back here. He's on the
Hi,
hinge.
TJ.
What's going on?
What's happening? Good luck.
Good wrestling.
Good luck.
You're damn
good luck
right.
Tomorrow. You gonna win that scramble championship?
One of the members of 7 are leaving with that title tomorrow.
Okay.
All right.
Guaranteed.
That's what we're here for.
You heard it here
That's what we're
first.
here for.
All right, so I'm just gonna say my piece really quickly. I don't need to sell this show. See, I keep looking at myself and not at the thing. I don't need to sell this show because the goddamn show sells itself. But tomorrow night, 7 o'clock Mountain, which is 9 p.m. Eastern, correct?
9 Eastern for us here, yep.
LPW 17, violence. We've got 3 stages of hell. Zoe Sager defending the Grand Championship against Gigi Ray. The Scramble title's on the line. My man, Amir Jordan, who I have not laid eyes on since 2016, going to be in the house. That's going to be a specific little treat for me. He's going to have a shot at Son of Irish and the Challenge Championship. A ton of awesome shit is going down tomorrow night, and you can watch it for free, hosted by me, which will be a treat for thee. That was pretty good.
That is pretty good. That was really very good. Boris is one of the best when it comes to commentary.
Oh,
absolute best.
You are, my friend. You are one of the best, and you can hear him every LPW show. So yeah, you like Pluggo said, you get to hear the audible chocolate. Pluggo and I will be in the chat during the show. You don't want to miss it. The shows get better and better and better every month, Boris.
I want you guys
every
to
month.
Tell me if people are talking smack about me, all right?
They're not.
Oh,
They're
you
not.
know I got your
Nobody's
back.
talking smack. And if they
does.
they would be
fight
handled quickly. It would be handled quickly.
All right. I will leave you guys be. Continue on with your amazing show, and I'll figure out how to leave the studio. I assume I clicked this little leave the studio again.
I think that's it.
Oh,
yes.
something
Thank
like
you for
that.
hopping in. It's always good to see you,
I love
friend.
and respect both of you.
Thank
and,
you.
Oh, there's Gavin over there. All right.
Hi, Gavin.
Have a great show, guys.
All right. Thank
Peace,
you,
brother.
Boris.
Much love.
All right. Rock and roll. Big Bad Boris.
Big Bad Boris in the house.
in
Yes. So
I thought that was the kid that got drafted by the Toronto Raptors. That's who I thought.
yeah,
that
that was that Grady
And the
Dick
background.
jacket. I
was like Grady Dick back there. But, all right. We're gonna talk about ICP, okay? Because I want to hear the ICP story. But before that,
It's
you
not
did
the
hear Big
greatest
Bad
story.
Boris. It's fine. You did hear Big Bad Boris talk about Amir Jordan. I had the pleasure of interviewing Amir Jordan. You can find it on YouTube. You can also find it on our Patreon. Love Pro Wrestling, but you can find it on the YouTubes. And here is a clip. Here is a clip of my interview with Amir Jordan. You kind of talk. Obviously, you going back to Canada for the next few months is kind of the immediate future for you. But as you said, you've kind of like regained your confidence, kind of reset yourself, coming out of like a time that wasn't so great. What are the future aspirations for Amir Jordan now? Like, obviously, you're going to hit Canada these next couple months. You're going to kill it. But are you just thinking about that right now, or do you have some short-term, long-term future goals that are kind of on your plate that you're trying to accomplish here as you move forward?
I want to sign a contract. I want to sign my next contract.
Okay.
And I know WWE is always going to be there.
Yeah.
And WWE will all, like, you know, obviously WWE to WWE, but I think it's really cool that I've got an opportunity right now, having been to the WWE, to explore other options. Mm-hmm. And I always found it, you know, even just as a wrestling fan, I always found like Eddie Guerrero's career cool, or like a Chris Jericho career.
Yeah, Chris Jericho I was going to mention, yeah.
When he went to TNA and like had a run there. Like, I've always wanted to be one of those wrestlers where, even on the indies in the UK as well, I've always wanted to make sure I wrestled at every place. It's like a weird OCD thing, maybe it is with me, but I've always felt like those wrestlers are the coolest. Like the guys that, he did a little bit in Japan. Or like, you know, Bryan Danielson's a really good example. Like, he wrestled everywhere. Then he went to WWE, and like, so like, I'm looking for my next professional contract. And there's noise that needs to be made in order to do that. And me betting on myself with this trip is the noise that is hopefully going to be made. So I'm quite forward and quite strong on the belief that this is going to be a career-changing trip for me. So I plan on making it that.
All right. And you can find Amir Jordan on the LPW event tomorrow night, challenging Son of Irish for the Challenge Championship. Well, we just had someone during that pop in who was also
there tomorrow night
on the show tomorrow night, and he was here last week.
And his ears had to have been burning because TJ Cannon was talking about making sure Seven brought that thing home. So we're gonna bring him on, our friend and yours, Rich King.
Oh, we're friends now, Pluggo.
I thought last week was good. Why can't we just?
It's good. It's good.
Would you rather me be mean?
Friendship is built over time. You know what they say.
Yeah, it's true.
I'm an over-eager son of a bitch, Rich. What can I say?
You know what? I felt like last week was just a good time. I felt like everyone got along. Everyone enjoyed the company. I would say it might have been the definitive Rads interview. You were all here. You told stories of how you formed. You told stories of, you know, just fun stories in general. I very much enjoyed my time last week. It was a good time.
I'll give you guys the credit to this. You guys are the first show to have the balls to have all the Rads on at the exact same time. And I felt like it actually stayed on ship pretty well.
It did. It did. It was one of those things where the time was requested by you. TY requested the time, and me and Pluggo were like, you know, we're doing it.
And we had the hard hour last week, so maybe that was part of it. We just all were like, we got to get our shit in here in this hour.
I have to get that shit in, man. Always got to make us look good.
Yeah, of course. Right. How are we doing this week? Ready for the show tomorrow night?
We got that show tomorrow. We're all pumped up. Promos are in. It's very good. NFL camps are open. I heard you guys talking about that.
We were talking a little bit about that. Some injuries already today.
Starting to ramp up into to the good time of year versus the sluggish, boring, be outside and enjoy summertime. You know,
summer.
I was just out there. It's hot.
Yeah.
Who's your football team, Rich?
You know, I actually am a Texans fan. Simply for the fact that they came into the league when I was like 12. So that was the first NFL team I latched onto, and it's been disappointment for years. So
I mean, but you drafted, a quarterback, and then you traded right back up to get the linebacker there.
I got a Houston Texans t-shirt.
Pluggo,
I'll have to wear that next time.
Listen, Pluggo. No, Rich, you need to understand, all right? And I love Pluggo.
He's a bandwagoner, isn't he?
He has a T-shirt or a friggin' hat of every team that's ever existed in every sport.
That's not true.
This might not be true, but he's got a lot. He's got a lot. Yeah. You know what other teams I have in my house besides Boston teams? None.
At least
shit out of here.
I'm not a big Boston fan.
Nobody is.
Per se,
Nobody is.
But I can expect that you stick by your teams.
Yeah, it's fine.
I don't have an NFL team right now. I am a free agent.
We gotta take you over to the dark side. Who could be a good point?
Earlier, I told him that if he picked the Jets, I would decide the show would be over. There would be no No more Beards.
I thought it was Steelers.
Those two. The Steelers are my least favorite team.
Steelers.
But the
eh?
Jets.
That's
Oh,
interesting.
brutal.
Steelers aren't going to be very good this year. Pick a team that's actually going to be good this year.
Last time I picked the team, they went 0-16 the first year I was a fan.
With the Lions?
The Browns.
Oh yeah.
I'm on board with Miami this year though.
Jalen Ramsey got hurt today.
The Ramsey injury sucks, but I still think that they can stay above water there.
Yeah, he's going to be out 6 to 8 weeks, but you figure they still got 3 weeks of camp, so he's going to miss the first handful of games, maybe 6 weeks. But if they can, it's a big loss. But I think if they can, like you said, stay afloat and they get him back, I think
the guys are vets and they have multiple younger defensive players anyways, and that offense is going to be electric, especially if Tua can stay healthy and fingers crossed for that.
Kansas City's going to be top class. They're going to be the team that everyone's gunning for. The Burrow injury, which they're saying is not serious, he got carted off today too.
Oh shit!
It was a calf strain, so he'll probably be okay. But he did need to get carted off. But I think in the AFC at least, Kansas City and Cincinnati are top. They're the top of the class, and then you kind of start.
Man, that lib you just went on there is strong, JPJ.
It is what it is. I feel like they're up here, and then you got to figure out who's next in line. Last year, everyone said the AFC West was going to be
Jacksonville, baby.
Jacksonville's good. Jacksonville's good and young. The AEW Jaguars down there, they're doing all right. I think I've been waiting, and again, he just signed a massive contract yesterday. I've been waiting for the Chargers to actually be as good as everyone says they're going to be for 3 years. So please, the guy, I like Herbert.
He's got to show up.
I am ruined as a football fan because I got to watch Tom, and I know people don't like him. Fine, whatever. I got to watch Tom Brady for 20 years, and that has poisoned the way that I watch football.
Remember, friends, if you send super chats disparaging the great name of Tom Brady, JPJ must read them on air.
No.
Throw that out there. Just thought I'd throw that out there.
But look I get it.
Do that.
I get it. People will. It's fine. I get it. All right.
The
but like when I hear hype.
Balls.
When I hear hype,
big flat balls, baby.
When it comes to quarterbacks, and I see everyone's been telling me Herbert's the most talented quarterback, maybe besides Mahomes in the league. All I see is a person who hasn't won shit. That's all I see.
Anything.
Hasn't done a goddamn thing besides look pretty, and he can throw a good football. He's got a cannon of an arm. He has all the tools to be. He is super talented. You watch him, and you're like, that kid's legit.
Yeah.
Win something.
The NFL is a weird league that way. It's like you can do absolutely nothing, but like you're in the right circumstance or you went to the right college and people will be blowing air up your ass for years.
Unbelievable.
Still waiting. It's like there's plenty of other quarterbacks that are much better than Justin Herbert because they've won something. They've actually done stuff. So
there was a lot of surprise and intrigue with Herbert when he came, like how he shot up the draft board. People were like, he hasn't done anything in college either. But
it's a weird thing.
That's why we're sitting here not running NFL teams.
Well, it is what it is.
We're not throwing like 80-yard bombs.
We have Mike from Indeed, our buddy Mike in the chat saying, respect Baltimore. Baltimore is good. They're solid every year. When it comes to Baltimore, another team I hate.
Mike's not going to like this, but I am definitely like, I have my issues with Baltimore strictly on the basis that I played wide receiver roulette last year in fantasy, and every time I started Bateman, Duvernay went off, and then every time I started Duvernay, Bateman went off, and I just was like, you guys suck.
Fantasy football just drives your fandom.
Oh, it's brutal. It's brutal. I love it. I'm in long-term leagues, multiple ones that I've been doing my whole life, dynasty leagues. I love fantasy football, but that is another thing that has ruined my football fandom.
I am in the midst of a 4-day weekend, so I have plenty of time to set up this year's Between Two Beards Fantasy Football League. So if you're interested, stay tuned to the socials. We'll send the link out.
You know what? If we're doing it again,
and
I lost
last year because I forgot. I forgot to set my lineup. It was one of those weird games they threw at us.
Rookie move.
I forgot to start a quarterback because I was sitting here and then I didn't have anybody available, and I lost to who did we? I have to remember. I have to go on the socials and remember. But I lost to him by like a half a point, and I was just So yeah. Pluggo got a Pluggo in the finals.
Play somebody that gets the 5 touchdown game.
Yeah. Yep. God Almighty. I'm trying to think of like the AFC. To me, is loaded with good teams that can break out, and the NFC is really to me it's San Francisco and Philly. Those are the only 2 teams that matter in the NFC.
I think you still got to put Dallas up there. Like they choke a lot, but the moves that they made and their defense is just so damn good.
Yeah,
like, sleeping on.
I guess
sleeping on Seattle too. Come on.
Hey, I'll say
Seattle's solid.
Definitely an underdog, but I do think they might have overachieved last year with Geno. Like, show me again this year. Show me the first couple weeks of Geno, like not turning the ball over and still making great decisions. I think you're going to see a really great team there, but like, still got to prove that. There's a lot of hurt in those. Dallas, come on, man.
That's a Philly fan. He's a Philly fan.
They got Brandon Cooks. They got.
But they also have this.
They're going with Pollard now. They got rid of Zeke.
Pollard. They have Prescott. Still has to. He's another guy
that hasn't won shit. Nothing.
Because he plays for Dallas.
That's true.
Put Justin Herbert on Dallas, and they'll go straight to the moon.
Yeah, I think everyone's jumping on Detroit. Because now that Rodgers is gone from Green Bay, everyone's like, Detroit's winning that division. All I will say is let's pump the brakes a bit.
Yeah.
Let's pump the brakes. He had a good year last year, but they still have Jared Goff as their quarterback. So let's pump the brakes a little bit. Even the coach, Dan Campbell, at the press conferences has said it like, yo, let's relax.
Run through a brick wall.
What a difference a year makes, hey? Last year, talking about fighting guys' knees caps, and now he's like, hey, everybody just
calm down, guys. We were performing good last year when nobody thought anything of us. We don't know. All right, let's relax.
Those games that the NFL coaches play are so silly, right? It's just like, oh, we're not going to tell you who the starting quarterback is. Everybody knows who your starting quarterback is.
Yeah, exactly. That's why I respect Frank Reich, because he came right out day one yesterday and was like, Bryce Young's our quarterback. He's starting week 1.
He has to be.
Immediately. Like, not waiting. Well, like Rich just said, well, we're gonna have him out there. They're competing. They're doing
Indianapolis.
He was the number 1 pick. He's starting. That's what's going on there.
Well, Indy, I can see why they're kind of shrug emojiing, because Anthony Richardson is a very underdeveloped and non-proven person, whereas Gardner Minshew is actually surprisingly good when you take a look at the stats.
I love Gardner Minshew. He's the best.
I'm cheering for that guy.
Man. Have guys saying I should root for Green Bay because they have a love at quarterback and it's love wrestling coincidence. I don't know. Maybe.
I just got him in my dynasty league, so I'm hoping to hell
I don't know if I look good in. I do have a Green Bay Packers T-shirt, so
you have every T-shirt.
I wasn't lying. I wasn't saying it to be disparaging. I was just stating.
I got a Packers one. I got a Bears one. I've got a Colts one, I believe. I've got a Panthers Jimmy Clausen jersey. I've got the
Jimmy. Well, you're in Notre Dame. He lives in You're in Notre Dame country.
Notre Dame country. My best friend.
He was a dud. Huh?
My best friend is a Panthers fan and thought that was going to be a good pick.
The lights just censor off on you in there?
Yeah. I'm in my work office here, and
gotcha.
Sensor lights. I've been sitting around too long. I'm procrastinating from work. I'll be honest with you.
I mean, hey, I don't mind. I respect it.
Our move.
I was sitting there looking at our secret link, our backdoor link in here. I'm like, is it a babyface move to run in on people? Like, we're figuring this stuff out and seeing like, hey, how do babyfaces operate in the world? And it's like a lot of lame stuff.
But you running it on the show after good terms last week, like, okay, it's a welcome addition.
It feels good on the inside to be like helping things out in the world and progressing, but like, it's not as fun.
I can tell you this. Since your guys' mandated face turn and last week's show, like, I got more work done at the shoot job this week than usual because I'm not usually sitting around trying to figure out how to stick it to the Rads.
Yeah, you're not degrading us online. You're not.
I know.
Inflammatory remarks on Twitter 24/7. Like, we were living in that head.
My bosses were like, "What's up with this?" And I was like, "Hey, I just had my."
It was those were Pluggo mental awareness weeks.
Yeah,
or Pluggo, I should say.
Pluggo.
We are
going to have.
Damn it.
I know. We are going to have an
That's
NFL
going to stick,
preview
isn't
show.
it? Dustin's going to make a graphic, isn't he?
Yeah,
I sure hope he does.
he probably will. He probably will. He's good at what he does. He probably
Hey, they
will.
were popular in like 1 year of the 90s. So
Yeah. We are going to have an NFL preview show probably the week before week 1. And obviously, I feel like we should
probably
if you
an
off
off
free.
night.
Oh yeah.
Because of All In and All Out, we'll have to squeeze it in.
Yeah.
Well, you guys let me know when you guys are doing that. I'll hop on there and give
because I think they're
my
clearly
2 cents.
Yeah, and I like it because I can talk football all day.
2 pennies, as I like to call it.
What is that?
My 2 pennies.
Yeah, absolutely. So I'll because I do want to get how you're feeling about the match tomorrow night a little bit.
And I will say, TJ Cannon just popped in behind Big Bad Boris right before he did, and said that he guarantees 7 is bringing that title home.
He did. He said
it. Guaranteed it.
Yeah, that's what he said. That's what he said.
Hey,
but
geez.
if you had to pick, and again, we'll do our official preview where we'll have the official picks, but early first 2 day of training camp, who are the teams you think besides the obviously the Kansas Cities, the ones we know that are going to probably be there at the end? Who is a sleeper team? Yeah, like a sleeper team for you to look out for.
Again, AFC, I'm in love with the Dolphins personally. I've liked Tua for forever, and like Tyreek Hill has been one of my favorite players in the league. I actually have a signed jersey of his. So like the Dolphins, I'm all in on this year for sure. NFC teams that could surprise, like Seahawks are probably going to be one that I'm cheering for quite a bit to go pretty far. Usually I'm a pretty. Like I'll cheer for the Cardinals. I went to a Cardinals game once. I have a jersey, so I always kind of have a soft spot for them. But without Kyler Murray, they're toast. Their defense is going to be trash, so I can't.
Yeah, obviously they lost Hopkins as well. Obviously,
exactly.
Where did Murray go? He's still there.
He's injured, isn't he? Yeah, he's hurt.
Oh, is he?
He's missing big ligaments in his knee.
I didn't know that.
Big ligaments for a small guy. It's probably like yeah, so those would be the two. I'd probably say Seahawks and Dolphins.
I will throw, and we are going to have you as part of the preview because we are going to dive deep. But I'm just saying, look out for them Chicago Bears. Look out for them Chicago Bears. I think the Bears could potentially be better than people think. I'm being serious.
I love you, but
I'm being serious. That division. Listen, that division is I think a very weak division with Rodgers leaving it.
And there's still
everyone's just assuming Justin Fields is pretty good. I think Justin Fields is pretty good.
Show me his arm, show me some actual accuracy out of that guy.
That's fair. No, he definitely needs to take the year.
They got to protect
his third year. He needs to take the leap. But I think the Bears have a chance to be better than people think. That's all.
Every team has a chance to be better than people think.
But I think it'll happen.
The Texans have a chance to be better than people think, actually.
I would hope the Texans are better than people think after all those moves they made.
But you guys, I got to run here soon. So I want to go into tomorrow night because tomorrow night, fight night, it is the night that everybody looks forward to every month. It's the last Friday of the month. Love pro wrestling, one of the greatest nights in wrestling all month long. I'll put my money on it. Probably one of the best independent shows you will see without a big financial backing for it. So LPW Scramble Championship, baby. We are going in there. It is faction warfare, baby. It is the Clandestine Society, the Brothers. We got MRB and Stephen Crow. We got 7 who are now on the same page, but when the title's on the line, we'll see because, they have been unproven with their loyalty so far. Mars, sure, he hits people with chairs every now and then. TJ Cannon's just a general scumbag. And Jack Pride, you never know what's going to happen with Jack Pride. He's a man of 2 or 3, 5, 6, 7, 8 minds. But there's one consistent in all this, and that is the Rads for life. All three of us, we have each other's back no matter what, through thick and thin. Doesn't matter what championship is on the line. Doesn't matter what's on the line. If it's a scramble match, all three of us are aiming to win. And when one of us win, like we talked about last week, all of us win. Because, baby, they made the Freebird rule for a reason. And
oh, boy.
I'm the hell out of that.
Yeah, I'm excited to see the Freebird rule with the Scramble Championship if you guys are victorious. But I do feel like you are being truthful. We had you guys on last week, and that was something that all of you guys talked about.
What are you going to do in a situation where you or TJ Cannon or Mars the Specialist maybe have to team up on like an MRB to get that advantage? Are you going to be able to work with those guys, or is this just going to be pure chaos?
Let me just check the forecast outside. It's cloudy with chances of no.
Okay, because that's
we can't trust those guys. We can't trust those guys. Mars was like a friendly, bubbly little ginger guy, but now he's with 7. And you can't trust that. You can't trust anybody that trusts Thaddeus Archer. You can't trust anybody that trusts Jack Pride. That's just you can't trust anybody that purposely hangs out with TJ Cannon.
Because we know that these unusual alliances tend to maybe happen in a match just to gain advantages in this type of match. So I just wanted to see where your head's at.
Absolutely. Now, before I go here, I do have to be honest. This match, I'm actually a little worried going into it because there's crazy shit that's happened in every single one of these scrambles matches. Yeah. I don't know if you guys noticed this. I like to have my 2 feet firmly planted on the ground for the most part. I am a ground wrestler. I am not a high flyer by any means. But I know this match tomorrow is going to be physical. It is going to be hurtful. It is going to be people doing things that you haven't seen them do before and taking their bodies to the line. So I personally am a little bit scared, but a lot excited. And so should everybody else watching this right now. So tune in tomorrow.
Awesome. Love it. Well, good luck to you. Hopefully you do not get put into any scary situations and you can maintain your ground tomorrow night. Because you are true. Every one of these matches, there's crazy stuff that goes down. There's crazy stuff.
So before I go, I want you all to touch that tip.
Are we allowed to?
Oh, yeah. Ben said we had to.
Just kidding.
Well, we were close.
Yeah, I was almost.
Ben let us put it on the screen, and then he let us at least pretend.
All right.
Yeah, Ryan has the Rads winning.
Shocker of the century. Shocker of the century, right there. That Ryan has the Rads.
El Presidente of the Rads fan club.
Literally the president of the fans club. Picking the fan club that he is the president of.
Ryan, do you know who I picked?
Oh no, he's putting you to the test, bro.
But do you know who I picked?
Who did you pick? Tell me right now.
You'll have to read the article to find out.
That's fair. I need the ICP story. Give me the ICP story.
It's not a great story, but we were talking ICP, and I have this disdain for them, and it's not. I was
musically.
Yes.
Okay.
I was a WCW kid growing up, man. Like I remember them with like Vampiro, and I just remember young impressionable Pluggo went to the store. And his mom gave him $10 or $12 back in the day, however much CDs cost. And she's like, you can go pick something out you want. And I just remember like I picked one. Yeah, I made a Paramore joke at the beginning. That's true. But the scramble match, I made an actual pick. I just remember I picked it up and I was like, oh, what is this? This is ICP. These wrestler guys. I showed it to my mom and she like, quicker than I've ever remembered. She goes, absolutely not. I'm not buying that. That's how bad it was when I was like, whatever it was, 10, 11, 12, whatever it could have been.
Yeah.
And then like, as I got older, like I had a brother that got into it and he was he didn't listen. So he listened to whatever he wanted. And it's just not for me.
No, it ain't for me either.
I'm just not a fan.
Any good.
So, like from an early age, I was just anti ICP, and I had some people in my comment section earlier tell me, they do draw, and like Boris said, they do respect the business. So don't get me wrong, like they're not going to come in and they're not going to be buffoons, and they're not going to do the juggalo stuff that they do at their little carnival or whatever they call it, the Fago and stuff. But like, I just don't want to see him on TV. I just don't want to see that on my programming. And not to mention, it's not that NWA already has a problem with like bringing in people that it's just like, so yeah, it wasn't a great story. It's just and then, like I said, just ICP is not something that I just vibe with and I just don't jive with. And Juggalos run deep, man. That's all I know. I can tell you, you make one ICP joke on social media and they come out the woodwork, dog.
Damn right.
Whoop, whoop.
You ain't taking us down, man.
Didn't they at one point, didn't the government try to classify them as a gang? No, I'm 100%.
Is that true?
They marched. The Juggalos marched on.
I do remember
Washington.
I do remember
because they were trying to. Homeland Security was trying to dub them as a violent, dangerous gang in America. 1000%. I know that's true. Look it up. Because I remember because I was just like, are we serious right now? Is this a thing?
Listen.
They did, right?
How long ago was this?
A year or two, maybe. I feel like it was recent.
Oh, it was recent.
I feel like it was recent-ish, but not like last week. But I definitely remember seeing just the line of like Juggalos and Juggalettes.
All right,
The only time
I don't want to say anything that's going to get me in trouble. So I'm
but they did do the backyard. They had the backyard wrestling video.
I knew that. Ric Flair was like, did some of that stuff. Did he not?
You know,
Nate.
Have guy saying he knows because he was there. I was not there.
I was
not there. Hatchet.
Might have been.
I know more about ICP than I probably should. And that's only because I had a sibling that was super into it.
Yeah,
you can crack it. I don't care.
I don't know if I can.
Tell me. Off
I'll tell you off air.
Beards after dark, baby.
Yeah, I don't know if I can. It's one of those where I'm like, I think I can, but I'm not 100%. So it's just better.
Is this what we're doing, chat? Chat, is this where we're going? Are we going with now?
Look who we have in the chat.
Oh, Josh Robinson. Is the chat really a Pluggalo? Are we? Come on, guys.
It is
what
it is.
Gals, and non-binary pals. Hey, After Dark, hello. Yeah, we're talking about ICP, Josh. So if you've got any opinions, no, we cannot, Ryan. Don't do it. Stop.
Yeah, no,
stop. We're not going down that road either.
We do have.
I ain't saying it. It's not happening.
Listen, we're gonna have our SummerSlam preview next week.
So apparently, NWA's 75th anniversary or 75th, whatever.
The Juggalos are gonna be there, bro.
Violent J's the big draw.
Hell yeah. And like I said earlier,
maybe he'll take on Tyrus.
Like I said earlier, the NWA is special guest. Like I said earlier, we're gonna look back on this. We won't because it's not gonna matter. But we're gonna look back on this and we're gonna say, remember the time that we were relieved
that it was Violent
someone from ICP was the special guest at a wrestling show.
A guy that once rapped Magnets.
Remember that time we were relieved it was Violent J from the ICP.
I swear they have a song that's just.
They probably do.
That's just.
I can't tell you that I've listened to a full ICP song. I've listened to clips and I've not, like you said, not for me.
The only time the ICP realm was funny was that Workaholics episode.
That was good.
I
did not mind them when they were with the oddities at the beginning. That was fine. I liked the oddities. Fine.
But Josh has got eye emoji SummerSlam.
Well, yes, because I don't think he's dropped the graphic yet. Can I break the news? It's not really news. We do it every time. But next Friday, the night before SummerSlam, at 6 p.m., so 2 hours before SmackDown starts, goes live at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
The best.
I will be over there on Josh's channel, and we will be doing our SummerSlam sim on WWE 2K23. And that's whoop whoop. That's the night. That's the night before I head on vacation. And I found out last week that I'm going to have to watch SummerSlam on the plane.
Yeah, you're gonna.
My flight boards 2 minutes before the pre-show starts.
I haven't traveled on
SummerSlam is SummerSlam getting the 2-hour pre-show?
I don't know.
2-hour.
I don't
Either
know
way,
or not. Either way,
my
yeah.
flight boards at 6:58, and we take off at like 7:18 or some bullshit.
Well, I was gonna ask, do all flights have Wi-Fi now? I haven't traveled since I got married.
Know. We're flying an international. We're doing Aer Lingus, which I've never flown on before.
Aer Lingus,
that's the one that
like
brings
Metalingus.
Yeah, kind of.
On this day,
Aer Lingus. You would think. You would think.
Misfit, we're talking SummerSlam. We've had the Rads on. We talked some football. We just talked some ICP.
Yeah,
and
we are going to talk some
Juggalos.
NXT. There is an NXT
So
event
there's
on
an
Sunday.
NXT show. But what do you want to talk about, Misfit? Throw
What do you guys want to talk about? But Kevin Owens also, unfortunately.
What does that mean for Sammy?
I don't know. Well, he had a singles match against Dum Dum on Monday for the North American Championship, which he lost. But hopefully it's not a long-term thing that they'll have to lose the belts or anything like that. But yeah, that's unfortunate. Kevin Owens is
speaking of that, the tag division, like if Kevin can't compete, and it has to be a long-term thing where Sammy has to drop the titles, which I have to imagine they don't want that to happen because they're having. It would be time to unify those things. I think this would be a perfect.
I think that would create an unfortunate circumstance. Could create
like
a good
listen.
thing.
You've taken all the other belts. You've given them a facelift. You've made them look all nice, and I like them all. Let's do that with those tag belts. I
think that's a good shout out.
That would be a good idea, in my opinion. I hope that Kevin Owens is okay because obviously he's one of the best. We love him a lot. Get well soon. But Sammy, Sammy finally gets these belts, and then they kind of been spinning their wheels a little bit ever since the Bloodline stuff, and So we'll see.
They messed around with Imperium for a little bit, which I thought was okay. I like what they're doing now. I like how they're kind of involved with the Judgment Day. I think that's fun. The Judgment Day are at a point now where they're on every show. They're on every show.
And we talked about that at one point.
Yeah, they are the outfit now that the Bloodline storyline is kind of focused on just them now. They are the new, you're going to be on every show. And they go to NXT now. Dom is an NXT champion.
Mm-hmm. Which is so weird. I'm still not over it.
Unbelievable. North American champion almost killed Wesley during that match.
I understand why you cash in on Dom. You cash in on the heat. You do,
of course.
But the NXT North American Championship is like a workhorse title.
That's what makes it.
I know.
That's part of it.
I know. I watch the stuff. I get it. it. But like he is so the opposite of what a workhorse is. Like, and it's not even like a good opposite. It's not like,
I think
he's just not great in the ring.
No, I think if he does time in NXT can't hurt him. Can't hurt him from an in-ring like perspective. You know what I mean? But yeah,
does he win on Sunday?
I hope not.
See.
I hope not. But probably. Yeah, I don't know how long they want to do this. Well, here's the thing, right? And I think I like the Judgment Day, but I wanted to talk about WWE and kind of some things I'm noticing, and I think we all are, some trends that make me think that a certain someone is heavily running the shows again. And that is like
Misfit said it right there. What's a brand split?
Yeah, the brand split ended very quickly. I feel like there's the amount of rematches we're seeing again is a lot and more than they were before. If you look at this SummerSlam card right now, there are 7 matches and 4 of them have happened before. Not saying that I'm not saying that I am not enjoying I still think the product's good. They're at an all-time high. They're breaking gate records and all these things, ticket sales and all this stuff. every event, I feel like you see the report on Fightful that's like, that's their highest gate ever in the market of blah, blah, blah. They're just killing it right now. Wrestling is on the verge of booming again, which is a good thing. But I'm just like, why does Finn, why is Finn get a rematch with Seth Rollins? Why does he deserve that rematch?
I don't know. That one's the most perplexing to me. I guess the only caveat I guess I could pull from that is that if you want Damian Priest to cash in in that match, or maybe make it a triple threat, kind of Seth Rollins style.
I think like
maybe, but even that, it's just like, yeah, it could also be they don't have anybody ready to go.
Yeah,
they haven't heated anybody up
at Money in the Bank. Gunther had a championship match against Matt Riddle. He decisively defeated Matt Riddle. Mm-hmm. And on Raw 2 days later, Matt Riddle had a rematch with Gunther.
And Ryan's saying, why not? And I don't get me wrong, Seth Rollins and Finn Balor is a banger of a match. But in terms of just like the story that they're telling,
why would he earn another title match? Why would he be given? He lost.
He asked.
Okay. But like he lost to Seth. Like why would Seth say yes? Because he's a fighting champion. He can fight somebody else.
Well,
it's just things to look out for. Things to look out for.
It's the eggs in the basket thing. Like the bloodline stories kind of coming to an end, and that took up a lot of the programming. And they do this. They have one good storyline and they run with it. So they're running with the Judgment Day right now because their handprints and fingerprints are all over every show, and they're just not heating anybody else up. I'm worried about, I'm worried about that long term, because at some point, especially with just Dominic as a whole, that's going to fizzle out at some point. People aren't, it's cool to boo Dominic now, but eventually it's just like this guy again. Like it's not going to be. And then Rhea's got to start doing something other than.
She had a good match on NXT though.
She did, but why isn't she defending that title? Why isn't she in a major storyline heading into SummerSlam? Name of Rhea's title defenses. Like she beat up that. What's her name? Valkyrie.
Natalia. Well, she did Natalia.
She beat up Natalia. She beat up that Valkyrie chick from NXT. Like, come on.
Valkyria,
yes. Like, name a huge title defense. Like, we got Bianca Belair going up against Charlotte Flair at SummerSlam.
And Asuka.
That's huge.
Yeah.
And like, what's Rhea doing? Come on, man.
Yeah. Rhea at this moment does not have a match booked for SummerSlam at this moment. So I don't know. We have Cody and Brock. Right now it's a singles match. I thought this is true. Josh is saying she does have a little background storyline with Raquel and Liv. So maybe they do the thing where Raquel comes back from the injury next week, and then you have Raquel and Rhea. But that's like, it has been a small story, but that's not a lot of, that's 1 week of build, truthfully, to that match. And again, Rhea's at the top. This is, I'm not like, I'm talking just specifically about.
But I'm talking, you're talking trends. I'm talking that's a trend too, where they're just focusing on this one group, and they're not building anything else to really any substance. And so when you run into this wall where you don't have challengers ready to go or meaningful things to do, it's like, all right, let's just do Seth and Finn again.
Yeah, I don't know.
And then
I'm starting to see more and more rematches a little bit, and it's making me worried that the old man is no, Josh, you're good. No, the Rhea and Raquel thing has been building for a few weeks. They've had the stare down.
I like that
stuff like that, and I like it too. I just I don't like them booking the match like 4 or 5 days before the, like, you know what I mean? Like they could have
put a little bit more.
I would like the match to have a week or two, knowing this is happening. Let's build, instead of like, oh, all right, she's back. So, in 4 days, because it's then, to me, that's not believable that Raquel has a chance to beat her. But if they and again, that's maybe SummerSlam is the start of the story, and it goes, or like the continuation. I don't know. But right now, Rhea's not booked, and I think Liv. There, from what happened on Monday, you would assume Liv is at least going to be kayfabed out for a bit because that was the type of injury that's a write-off injury that I felt like they did with Liv.
Yeah.
So maybe Raquel comes back to avenge her partner and kind of get back at Rhea on Monday, and then they book it, and then we're having that. But I think Liv is injured again. I think she unfortunately.
Yeah. Misfits saying they're saving like Becky and Rhea for Mania. Sure. But I also don't like that trope either where you save things for things because then they don't happen. There's a lot of sometimes they don't happen. There's a lot of time between now and then, but for Becky and Rhea, and then things happen, injuries happen, life happens, and then it doesn't happen. So if you've got it, make it happen. But I know that that's not the stories they're telling now. I'm assuming we'll get Becky and Trish at SummerSlam.
Yeah, I would think we're going to get Becky and Trish added to this. So right now, the 7 matches we have are Cody and Brock, and right now it's a singles match. I know the rumor was they were going to be doing some sort of stipulation, so that could be added on this coming week. We have Seth and Finn for the World Heavyweight Championship. We have Asuka defending against Charlotte Flair and Bianca Belair in a triple threat for the Women's Championship. We have Roman Reigns versus Jey Uso in Tribal Combat. For the Tribal Combat for the undisputed WWE Universal Championship. We
don't need no contract.
Yeah. We have Ricochet versus Logan Paul in a singles match. We have Gunther defending the Intercontinental Championship against Drew McIntyre. That match should rule. And then we have Ronda Rousey in a singles match. I want this match to be in the fight pit. Ronda Rousey versus Shayna Baszler. Baszler had a good promo on Monday where she said that she was going to fight Ronda and all that stuff, and I was waiting for her to say, in the fight pit.
In the fight pit.
I would love if that match was in the fight pit.
Have we had a main roster fight pit?
Yeah, Riddle had one, didn't he? Oh, no, he might have went down to NXT for that. Had
Riddle and Rollins. Riddle and Rollins were in the fight pit.
Yeah, right? That's right. That's right. Yeah,
because he did that nasty Broton.
That's when Bray returned. That's when Bray returned, right?
I think so.
Extreme Rules?
I don't know. I'm not an expert.
Yeah.
I'm no expert,
but I think that should be a fight pit. That would be fun, and it would add intrigue. I loved how for the first week, this is another thing that makes me think Vince is back. The first week, they were like, all right, we're going out there, Shayna, you're going to be the heel. And then the crowd was like, no.
No,
she's not.
Clearly, you don't watch the show.
The very next week, maybe this tells me that Vince maybe isn't back because the very next week they were like, okay, Shayna's the babyface. Okay. They immediately changed course, which I thought was funny. But yeah. So that's SummerSlam. We will be diving into a SummerSlam preview next week.
With a special guest?
Yeah, we're going to have a special guest next week to talk about that too.
I should probably confirm.
I would say we should confirm. We should
reach out.
Yeah. We want to make sure that's happening because that's when you promote. I mean, we promote them all, but that's one. You get to jump on it if you can. But this Sunday, we have
Sunday.
We have NXT, the Great American Bash. I think EO has potential to cash in at SummerSlam. I think that is something that could happen. I truly do. I was watching, Sean did one of those shows, Sean Rossap. He did a show midweek where, you could ask him anything. And he had mentioned that he was hearing some rumors that Damian Priest could cash in on Carmelo Hayes for the NXT championship. He didn't say there was much to him, but he said he's heard that.
But why?
I don't know.
Maybe back in the day when NXT was at its peak, but this NXT, that would just be you might as well cash in on the United States Championship. No disrespect to Carmelo.
I mean, that's what they did last year.
I know, but don't do it. Just let him hold it for a while. That's fine too.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. Unless, and I think Sean said this. He was like, unless like if Finn beats Seth, and they want everybody to have a championship, he was like, you could maybe, but he was like, no, that shouldn't happen. But
Don't do it.
yeah, that was very odd. I was like, how does that even come? Like, how do you even get to that level of you hearing about that? What?
Sean Rossap knows everything. He gets all the scoops, man.
That's what I'm saying. All right, we have 7 matches on the NXT.
Damn, 7?
7.
I thought it was like 5.
This will be taking place in Cedar Park, Texas, which is a suburb of Austin, Texas. I don't know how they're booking it, but either way. All right. We have, I don't know if this match will be on the pre-show. I don't know if there will be a pre-show match, but we have an 8-person mixed tag match happening. It is Dragon Lee, Nathan Frazier, Yulisa Leon, and Valentina Feroz. I know for a fact I probably said those wrong. Versus the Meta 4, who are Noam Dar, Oro Mensah, Jakara Jackson, and Lash Legend. I'm going to be honest with you. I don't know what the hell's going on when it comes to this match at all. I know the bigger matches. I don't know that. I know Noam Dar. I know that group. I actually have liked what I've seen out of that group. But how do you feel about this match, Pluggo?
Same. I'm just like, all right, Noam Dar's team wins. That's right.
The thing that I get out of this match is why the hell is Dragon Lee in NXT?
Exactly, because you have to. You have to go to NXT, and you have to
Dragon Lee.
I
needs
know.
to go to NXT to be in an 8-person mixed tag match. No
Who's
offense.
the last person?
Like, what the hell?
It was AJ Styles who didn't make the NXT jump. They just put him right onto the main roster. It's this new, like, it's become this thing where you got to go to NXT and you got to kind of prove yourself. But it's like some of these performers are above that. And Dragon Lee would be a lot of fun in a United States title picture or Intercontinental Championship picture on the mid card on the main roster to be something new. But no, let's throw him in this mess.
Yeah,
and, let's just do that. And then they get sour on the WWE system, and then they leave.
Very bizarre. Very, very bizarre. We have a singles match. So this past Tuesday, Gable Steveson went out there and he chose his future. It was either he was gonna go back to school and try to win the collegiate national championship. He was either going to go to the Olympics and try to win another gold medal. And we found out that his future
is Baron Corbin.
Baron Corbin, baby.
I don't know, man.
That
I might
is
have
his
picked
future.
the other option.
Baron, I don't know about you, but if those 3 options were given to me, Baron Corbin. Here's the thing. I like Baron Corbin.
Yeah, no, it's just, but it's just that the funny way that, because he cut that promo and it was just super funny. It was like, I could go win a 3rd straight national title. I could go to the Olympics and win gold medals, and then Corbin's music hit, and you're like, son of a bitch.
You're like, oh, okay. So you're gonna beat Baron Corbin. That's what's gonna happen. Hey-o. I'm like,
I don't know what those comments mean, Misfit, about him going to jail. I must have missed
I don't think he's a great guy. I think he's done bad. I don't know much about it.
That's fair too, then. I don't know.
Yeah. But yeah, so that's gonna happen. I'm interested
I'm gonna be Baron Corbin in NXT.
Yeah, I'm interested to see how he looks.
And I know we're selling Corbin short, but Corbin is a great worker.
You know why Corbin is in this match. He's in this match to lose.
And he'll make Stevenson look amazing.
Correct. So, but yeah. That's what. So, yeah, that's happening. All right. Look, Baron Corbin's a pro. So, he's going to make him look good. You know, it is what it is. But yeah, I don't have a ton of interest in that. The only interest I have is to see how he looks. I want to see how he looks because he got drafted to Raw, did he not?
He did.
Wasn't that what happened? He's in NXT, so I want to see where he got drafted to Raw, but he's in NXT.
Like the last draft, and they never did anything with him, and now they're, you got to go to NXT.
Yeah. So, but that is happening. We do have a Weapons Wild match, they're calling it. So we had ourselves a good old fashioned supermarket fight. First one since the legendary Stone Cold Steve Austin Booker T. Not the first one, but that's the one everyone remembers because it's one of the best segments in the history of professional wrestling.
Yeah, I still every time that pops up on my feed, I still watch it. I still watch the whole thing through. I'm like, I can't help it.
Incredible. One of the all-time great segments ever. And we have Roxanne Perez going one-on-one with Blair Davenport. They've had a little thing going here this last few weeks here. And they brawled through a supermarket. So
was it a supermarket? It felt more convenience.
It was like a convenience store. It was like
a hybrid.
Yeah. It may be like one of those, hybrid gas station, convenience store / whatever. That's what it felt like.
You speaking of main Raw, I still don't know why Roxanne Perez is in NXT. I still don't.
There's a couple people on this card.
She's one that was one that like, I just don't know why you haven't just called her up, because I mean, don't get me wrong, this will be fine. This will be fun. Blair Davenport's a great worker, so is Roxanne Perez. It's gonna be a fun match. It's gonna be good. I'm gonna enjoy it. It's okay. Roxanne Perez is in NXT still doing not really anything of importance. Put her in the main roster, get her some reps, get her in the tag division with somebody or something. She's really good.
Yep. It says Misfit says former World of Stardom champion Blair Davenport versus former Ring of Honor
Blair Davenport's very good too. So
this match should be very good.
It's be good.
And I agree. I think Roxanne should have been called up in the draft. I think that's something that should have happened.
It's this weird trend. You talked about trends there. It's this weird trend in WWE where they either sit on somebody like Braun Breaker, for instance. They sat on that dude for so long. There was points where you were on this show telling me that he should be the guy to challenge Roman Reigns or something like that. That's how peak he was. And then they sat on it. And now it's like, all right.
I kind of like him as a heel, though.
I'm just saying, but
I like what he's doing.
He ain't peaking right now.
No. But I kind of like the work he's doing at least right now.
He's very, very, very orange.
That's true.
I saw him on Tuesday, and I was like, I didn't know that shade of orange existed. He tans a lot.
We have, for the tag team championships, we have Gallus, Mark Coffey, and Wolfgang, who will be accompanied by Joe Coffey, going against the family, Tony D'Angelo, finally out of prison, and Channing Stacks Lorenzo. I don't know about you, but I see Lorenzo Stacks, our boy, turning on Tony D here.
How can you turn against family?
Because family had him getting his ass kicked for 2 months when he was in prison. That's how. I've been sitting here taking bullets for you, dickhead, while you've been sitting in a cell doing nothing.
We're family.
You jerk.
Gallus is actually family, and they're a very formidable tag team. So
we got Sully in the chat saying he sees the turn as well. I see the turn.
I see it.
I'm not gonna sit here and say I guarantee this is gonna happen, but
dude,
I'm feeling it.
Do it. Guarantee it. What's the worst
that
can happen? It's NXT Great American Bash.
Wrong, and it will haunt me for the rest of my days. That's the worst thing that can happen.
This will be the one that haunts you for the rest of your days.
Anytime I'm wrong,
right here.
I think about times I was wrong. Not wrong.
I'm wrong all the time.
I think about things I messed up when I was a child, and I'm like, you idiot. But that's just me.
I do the same thing. But I'm wrong all the time.
Misfit brings up Dom. We're going to be talking about Dom in a minute here, but Dom said it best. Prison changes a man, bro.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So we have to see how Tony D.
That's probably, if we're being honest, that's probably why Dom is not the greatest wrestler in the world, because he spent so much time in prison and he had to just survive.
If he had those 5 days back, maybe
he could be
better.
He could be the best.
Who knows?
He'll get there. Maybe he'll get there. He'll overcome it. Yeah. Anyway,
I see Gallus retaining because you know what? I'm going to say it. turning on Tony.
The hour 34 mark. JPJ
Turning.
guarantees Stacks is turning.
I did not say that word, but he's turning.
Put it on the socials.
I'm feeling it. We then have a triple threat match for the NXT North American Championship. We have the new champion, Dirty Dominic Mysterio, who will have mommy at ringside, Rhea Ripley, defending against the former champion, Wesley and Mustafa Ali. I want Mustafa Ali to win this match. That's what I want.
What a bunch of bad luck for Ali.
Yeah, they're like, hey, go down to NXT.
Go down to NXT. You and Wesley.
You and Wesley have a feud, and then they were like, wait a minute,
Dom.
It's got to be
Dominic.
He's too hot. Dom's too hot.
That's gonna become a new thing in wrestling. Get Dominic. You just got Dominic Mysterio.
I hope Misfit. I hope Ali was not added to this match to be that guy to take the pin. They might be right.
Like Ali down there in WWE. I don't know why. They always give him the goofy
because he stood up for himself. Duh.
Yeah, don't do that. God darn it.
They were like, wait a minute, you're unhappy and you're talking about it publicly. You go.
How dare you?
You go.
So yeah, I think I hate to say it. I hate to agree with that comment, Misfit, but I think he is there to eat the pin. That sucks. I know for a fact I'm thoroughly going to enjoy the Wesley Ali interactions, but yeah, I think Dom is going to come out of this thing still as champ.
Probably,
oh boy, that's all I got to say about that. I really. I don't feel great about it.
I mean, look, it is what it is. But I see Dom retaining. Fucking Okada just show up, bro?
I just dropped the quarter out of my pocket.
Did Okada just fucking show up?
Rainmaker's here. I just take one.
Is he in the corner?
Yeah. Waiting for me to turn around and whap. I'm done.
If you would have just got a Rainmaker right there, that would have been a hell of a way to end the show.
That would have. I think if that happened, I think you would have had to just immediately cut to Sue.
Good Lord. Good Lord. You play that off.
I didn't even, you have a little change. I don't usually have cash, but I had to get cash.
That was great. That was great wittiness and timing by me.
That was beautiful.
That was 130.
Yeah, I had to get some cash out, which I usually don't need to, and I ended up not having to use it. So of course I spent it, and I had loose change in my pocket, and I went like this. And Rainmaker.
Yep. All right. We're gonna keep on going here. We have two more matches to discuss. We have ourselves a submission match for the NXT Women's Championship. It is Tiffany Stratton defending against Thea Hale, who is with Chase U, Andre Chase, and
who I love.
Chase U is super over. Misfit in the chat, obviously saying that he's rooting for Thea Hale to win the title because Chase U is mega over. They are. That return that Andre Chase had a little while back, a few weeks ago, that was a legitimate big pop. They're over. They're an overact, big time.
But can I ask? And I think we've talked about this before. Is Chase U a super overact with like everyone, or is it just because they have the NXT there every week, so those people show up and do the Chase U section? Will that translate if, like, you were to say take Chase U and put them on a main roster run where they're touring? That's my only, because I watch it, and trust me, I think Thea Hale is fantastic. I actually love her energy and her enthusiasm. I don't think she's beating Tiffany Stratton, though. I think that there's a reason that she's holding that belt, because I think they want to give her a long run and see where that goes. But yeah, Chase U, to me, I always wonder if it's like, if this is because it's not full sale
NXT
anymore.
has had. No, it's not.
It's the Capital Center or whatever.
Yeah, whatever they call it. NXT has had these before. Adam Rose comes to mind when I think about it, which was a gimmick that was super over in NXT, and it just did not work on the main roster.
Yeah, so I wonder.
There's other ones. That's the one that always pops to my brain. There are other
ones. No Way Jose was one.
No Way Jose was another one.
Where you get these fun party.
Those are both like party music. We're like, this is a little bit different, but it is that hokey, over the top thing that it seems to really thrive when NXT has it, like those fans down there really cling to those and like end up being over and they love them.
So is it more over in our minds than it actually is what I'm wondering. I don't hate it. Don't get me wrong.
I think I love the teachable moment. I like. It's funny. It's funny. It's entertaining.
Yeah. I just worry about it.
But I mean,
if Chase U has to do an away game, are they going to come ready to go?
Yeah. Well, there you go. Misfits saying they get 40,000 views on YouTube. That's not bad.
That's not bad, but Roman Reigns gets 2 million.
Yeah, well, but that's different level, bro.
So I'd have to go through.
What are the rest? I guess the real question would be, what are the rest of the NXT?
NXT? Yeah. That's apples
and how much that's kind of, you know what I mean? But, that's what he is. Chance and Carter's another tag team that I think they've made look good when they've been on TV, but they don't give a shit about those women tag titles at all. They just don't.
No.
I don't know. It's weird. And then we have our main event.
Our guy, our boy.
I think Tiffany Stratton is also winning, obviously. Yeah. But then we have our main event of the evening. We have the champion, Carmelo Hayes, and he don't miss.
Okay, just for funsies, I just looked it up because I was curious. I was 100% curious on it. The Rhea Ripley Lyra Valkyrie's match highlights got 159K. Ilya calling out Carmelo got 166. Thea Hall 166. Gable Stevenson's decision was 80K. Okay. And the family versus Bronco Nima was 49. Dana Brooke and Cora Jade got 115. So they got the lowest.
You watched that match on Tuesday?
Yeah. I don't understand what Dana Brooke was wearing, but she did get the victory. I don't know what they're doing with Cora Jade's another one of those where it's like I think they kind of like cooled her down too much. Hopefully they'll get her back. I like Cora Jade a lot, but no, the Chase U stuff is fine. It's fun. It's comedy. It is what it is. It's doing what it's supposed to do. I just was curious if it's not as over as that fan base in that same environment every week is just growing and gravitating to it because they see it every week. So you might as well enjoy it, right? You might as well play it. For sure. But anyway, our boy Carmelo Hayes.
Yep. Defending against Ilya Dragunov. This match should be incredible. I think this is going to be the last NXT match for Dragunov.
That's what I was going to ask you, because here's the thing too with Trick and Mello. We've spotted him with Bobby Lashley. We've seen him more on the main roster as well. I feel like whoever wins this thing, it could be the loser's last match in NXT, because I think they see something super special in Mello.
Oh my
and
god!
Could call him up too. Yeah, Dragunov is cool.
Also very special. Yeah. The match that he had with Braun Breaker.
Yeah.
You need to go out of your way to see that match if you have not seen that match. That was a
fantastic. And then, Dragunov is money, Mello's money. Like I'm wondering if that's the move.
I think Dragunov has the backstory that he could come right up to the main roster and be dealing with Gunther, whether with him. Like they've been teasing that. Yeah, if Ilya isn't winning the title, he better be on the main roster after SummerSlam. Exactly. That's my thing. They've been teasing, and I don't know why you got to do this, but they've been teasing some dissension in Imperium when it comes to Giovanni Vinci. So
because they don't trust him because he's got no hair.
Is that it?
I don't know. You don't have as nice hair as we do.
No, but they've been teasing that, right? And my thought was, if Ilya loses with the history, and didn't Gunther in an interview say that he got one of his biggest adversaries to, I feel like in a promo recently, he said, I got one of my biggest adversaries to join me. Well, under the WWE umbrella, one of his biggest adversaries is Ilya Dragunov, because they had 2 classic matches against each other. So you can introduce Ilya as part of Imperium, and then, like Misfit says in the chat, Ilya should, if you can build a story Where if Gunther's going to hold that title, Gunther should break the record and be the longest reigning IC champion of all time. That seems to be what they're going to do there, and I have no problem with it. Have him hold it till next year's Mania. Bring Ilya Dragunov up and have that be a marquee match at WrestleMania next year, Ilya versus Gunther for the IC title, because they had 2 classic matches in NXT, like all fantastic. And I think that's a cool story you can tell.
Yeah.
But I have Carmelo Hayes winning this match. They're not doing any. They're not taking that belt off Carmelo.
I got the same with you there.
Yeah, that's the
NXT Great American Bash card for those. It's Sunday night at 8, which I thought that snuck up on me, and I was like, oh shit, we have a paper PLE this Sunday. So we have about 15 minutes left in the show before we get to the ROH reacts with Kyle Sparks and Robert D. Felice over on our Twitch channel. So as soon as you leave here, head over to the Love Wrestling Twitch, hang out with those guys. Those guys rule. They do a good job. But I got to ask JPJ, I got to know how you're feeling. Saturday night, 8 p.m., Collision, MJF and Adam Cole taking on FTR for those tag team titles. Don't give me logic. Give me your heart. Who do you want to win?
I mean, I want MJF and Adam Cole to
Yes.
I mean, yeah, but MJF's turning on Adam Cole, and FTR's retaining. That's what I think's going to happen.
He did say he'd give him a title shot, win, lose, or draw.
Yeah. What was the wording on that, though? I've seen some people today on social media say
he said
they think
he knows how much it means to him. He's going to give him a title shot no matter what the outcome.
Yeah.
So who knows? I don't want him to. I don't want it to happen. I know it's going to happen. I just want them to win it. I don't know, but
my gut tells me they did the tease after the tag match last week on Dynamite in Boston, where Cole was looking at the belt. MJF snapped it with him and was just like, ooh, like that. And then when Adam Cole turned around, he had MJF made a face. Last night, the promos that they cut, that was serious MJF. When he was making fun of Dax, that was hilarious.
Because they don't like each other in real life.
No, and he mentioned the CM Punk jockstrap line, which was wonderful. And then the best thing is MJF is sitting there saying, Dax, he makes fun of the mullet with Cash, and then he goes, Dax, we're tired of hearing the same old promo. I love my wife. I love my daughter, blah, blah.
Yeah.
No flips, just fists. He goes, well, what's going to happen on Collision is I'm going to punch you so hard, you're going to have to drop CM Punk's jockstrap out of your mouth or whatever. Fantastic line. But then they cut to FTR right after that, and Dax does the same promo that he always does, referencing the MJF one. He goes, I do love my wife. I do love my daughter. And I love this business. Like,
Did you notice Adam Cole's face, though, during the whole promo? Like, oh, shit.
Yeah. And I loved FTR just going, Adam, you're a good guy. We got no problem with you. We're sorry that you're involved with MJF, but you're a good guy. You
kind of sounded like you with being the Rads. You're just like, they're fine with me.
You're all right. You've been all right to us, but we're sorry you're mixed up with that guy, but we're going to kick your ass. Blah, blah, blah. But
that's going to be a good show.
It's going to be great. It's going to be great. That's going to be a really good match. The crowd is going to be way, way rooting for MJF and Adam Cole. That's just what's like, and FTR are going to be the heels.
To win it, baby.
MJF.
I will say I did find Dax
the overwhelming baby faces.
I did find Dax in Cash's promo to be a little when it's like, that's why your girl left you, and it's like they've already heard that one before. Come on, guys.
That's the go-to line now.
Yeah, that's everybody that fights MJF is just like, your fiance left you. It's like that happens. That happens. People break up. I'm just waiting for the day Mrs. Pluggo wakes up and realizes she married this.
Yeah, and they're still involving. Yeah, Misfit just made it. They're still involving Roddy. Roddy comes out. He's pissed. He's like, "How are you this dumb, Adam? How are you this dumb?" And Adam's like, "And then
you're acting crazy right now, man."
Yeah, and MJF calls him a default create a wrestler. He goes, "You're a default call." I don't know. Is that how you say that? Call?
Sure.
It should be default creator, but whatever. But he calls him that. That's hilarious. And Ronnie's like, "How are you falling for?" And Adam's like, "No, dude, you're one of my best friends. No, it's legit. You're overreacting." And I like how Roddy grabs him and he goes, "Roddy, boundaries,
boundaries, bro. You know I love you.
You know I love you. You're like a brother to me, but like you're overstepping your bounds, man. Stay out of it."
Maybe Adam Cole turns on MJF. I don't know. Man.
Maybe I don't know, but it's going down.
It would be. Here's my problem. Here's my thing. We've said it, and it's not a bad thing. Predictability doesn't mean it's bad, but like I just think it's so over the top predictable that MJF's going to be the one that turns it.
True.
I have this weird feeling that he's not. Maybe they lose. Maybe they lose and then they turn afterwards, but I don't think it's going to happen during the match. I think they're going to play the match straight. They're going to try to win these things, and then maybe afterwards you have a spat. Maybe not. Maybe Cole does. I don't know. I just feel like it's so over the top. That's all.
That's fair. I wouldn't hate that if they did it the right way. Let me tell you this, though. I never knew that I needed Jon Moxley versus Orange Cassidy. But once Jon Moxley got in that ring last night and attacked Orange Cassidy, I was like, oh my God.
I was like, you
give it to me.
Fuck off of Orange
I was
Cassidy.
like, I went like this. Hook up the IV. Give it to me. Hook up the IV, baby. Holy shit. That had never
crossed your mind?
Never crossed my mind once.
No.
In the 4 years of AEW, Moxley versus Orange Cassidy has never been a match that I've thought about.
I'll be honest.
That happened, I was like, oh, fuck yeah. 100%.
Like, I liked all.
I want to see that match.
I liked all the components of that match.
That whole opening thing.
I just didn't understand why we had it. And then the second it was Mox and Orange Cassidy squaring off, I was like, okay. All right.
I was like, oh my God. I was like, I'd never even thought about it. Never even thought about it. And I was like, oh boy. I think Bullet Club Gold. Yeah, I see Jay White doing other things than winning the tag belts, though. I think that's just. I see Jay White. I see Jay White doing other things. Maybe Bullet Club Gold, as in the Guns again. Maybe.
I'm not a wrestling booker. I'm not a promoter. I don't understand all the ins and outs of the business, but it is one of those things where I'm like, if you've got a hot hand, sometimes you got to run with it. And I just don't know this Adam Cole MJF stuff, like giving them at least one title defense as tag team champions, like would be kind of cool to see. I know it's at the expense of FTR,
what if they hear me out though. What if they were to win the titles, they ride the momentum, they win the titles at Collision. Then they have the rematch at All In against FTR. They lose.
Wordsmith!
Hey, Wordsmith popping
my
in the
guy.
Chat. Hey, buddy. Hey, buddy.
Pal.
I wish we weren't only a few minutes from getting out of here. I'd give you the link and say hop on in here.
Yeah, what the
well, hear me out though. Hear me out.
They don't have to set up.
They don't have to do that for All Out. That's too soon, in my opinion.
But they could
build to that. They could. I don't think that. What I would do is, if you want to run this out, what I think is going to happen is MJF's going to turn on Adam Cole at Collision. They're going to fight it All In or All Out, or possibly both. They're only a week apart. So I think there's a way to maneuver stories through all of them, and then you can get to the CM Punk stuff. But what if you were like, you know what, this, like you said, this is a hot thing. We can't, we have to ride it out. Like, so they win the titles. They're the champions for a few weeks. They get the rematch against FTR at All In. FTR in a really good match just beats them again for the titles back. And then you have MJF turn on Adam Cole in the middle of the ring in front of 80,000 people at All In, and then you announce next week the main event of All Out is MJF and Adam Cole for the AEW Championship. And that's how you do it. And then
I like stories where there's multiple outcomes that I would be happy with, and this is one of them. I'm on the train. I'm on the bandwagon. I just want MJF and Adam Cole to be friends for the rest of their lives. I never want them to spat ever.
Yeah, and I think there was a rumor today. I think it might have even been Sean who reported it, that they're aiming for Chris Jericho to have a high-profile match at All In.
Yeah, and I see that comment about they need to make something official for All In. No, they don't.
They've already sold 80,000 tickets. Who's a shit?
Yeah, they sold 80K without making anything official. They could literally just throw AEW Dark out there, and they already made their money.
It's at the end of August. Like, I get it. There's 3.5 weeks, and they will. I think starting next week, we're going to start to see things really progress towards All In. But they don't have to. Yeah. It's Ospreay and Jericho. That's what they were leaning towards. Ospreay and Jericho. And everyone was like, meh. It's like, bro. Jericho's a big name. Jericho.
God damn you. Don't put that into the world.
Yeah, don't even say that aloud, will you? How dare you, man?
Have a soul, wordsmith. Have a heart.
Yeah. I mean, but AEW, it's their biggest show ever by gate and by the amount of people that are going to be there, but All Out is their big show.
They did the same thing with Forbidden Door. They had like 2 matches announced, and then they put together the rest of it. I think, and they also have to factor in All In, so they got to do All In and All Out. They got a lot of work to do. I'm not saying you're wrong. They got a lot of work to do.
They do.
But we know that they'll figure it out. They'll figure it out.
100%. It's starting to form. I also thought, and I know we got to get out of here in a minute or two. I thought the main event last night was really good. I loved the Lucha Brothers winning because everyone, I think, just assumed, like myself, BCC easy. But I think the Lucha Bros winning, even though I feel bad for the Best Friends, I was rooting for the Best Friends. But I think the Lucha Brothers winning is good. It gives them another jolt back in the tag division and things like that. And you started to see it towards the end of that match, some kind of faction warfare. Yeah, Jericho Ospreay is the match hab guy. That seems to be the rumor of a match they're trying to do, which I have no problem with that. But there were obviously people online that were like, what a waste. Because they
said the same thing about Ospreay and Orange Cassidy, and that match fucking ruled. Now, again, Jericho can't move like he used to.
And look at Chris Jericho's a big deal. He's a big deal. This is their first time over there in England. Jericho, he's going to have a big high-profile match.
We just talked about it with Seth and Finn. The match would rule, but you can't run Omega Ospreay every pay-per-view. Don't get me wrong. Those two put on classics, all-timers, but you can't run it all the time.
No, you just can't.
And you gotta have Jericho on the show. You gotta have Ospreay on the show. Might as well put them together. It sells. It's a marquee.
Yep. If you want to hear some more in-depth AEW talk,
super in-depth.
And Big Money Drew every Sunday morning at 10 a.m. over on twitch.tv/LoveWrestlingCA. We're over there, and we do Firmly AEW, where we dive into all the things that happened on Collision, all the things at Dynamite. As these next few weeks come, I'll be away for a couple shows because I'll be on a vacation, but we'll be lining up and talking about All In and stuff like that. And you can catch, Pluggo's going to do his bit, his Excalibur in a second.
I'm going to try.
We'll be here. We'll be talking SummerSlam. We'll be talking more progression of AEW heading to All In and All Out here. So you can find us here every Thursday at 8 p.m. You can find me over there. Pluggo has a show that he's going to be plugging here.
Yeah, I don't want to forget this week. I always forget. Saturday mornings, 10 a.m., me and Blair Pacheco from the Grainmaker podcast. You see him on Sunday Brunch all the time. We do 4 Exposure, where we're going to break down all the independent stuff. I think this week we got definitely going to talk LPW results at the jump there, because that's a big one. And we got a couple other things planned. We may have a special guest in tow. It all depends on travel, but you'll have to stay tuned to socials for that. Might as well just do it now because we're up against it. You can find me at Pluggo _ on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, all that fun stuff. You search here. I'm right here at B2Beards for all the social medias for what we do on all social medias. Stay tuned. We've been pushing away on that. We had the Rads interview last week. We got a special guest next week. It's all going to be on the socials. And head over to lovewrestling.ca. I wrote a preview / prediction for tomorrow night's LPW card. So if you could go over there, check that out. That would be awesome. I know Ryan said he wasn't going to acknowledge the pick I made, but I stand by that pick because I think that person will do whatever it takes. I just do. I just do. So, all right, JPJ, you do your thing and let's get us out of here.
All right, you can follow me at JPJ Loves Gaming over on Twitter. You can follow me at twitch.tv/JPJ Loves Gaming. You can find me at JPJ Loves Wrestling over on Threads, and JPJ Loves Gaming once more over on the Blue Sky. But what you're going to want to do right now...
I'm there too.
Oh, yeah, Pluggo's there now too. Between Two Beards might be on there soon as well.
Shit.
So
I forgot.
check us out. But what you want to do right now is once our outro comes on, you want to pay your respects to Sue. If you don't, shame on you.
Shame on you.
And then you want to go to twitch.tv/lovewrestlingca because we got Kyle Sparks. We got Robert D. Felice, Dude Felice, talking Ring of Honor. The show tonight, I'm sure they'll be talking some Death Before Dishonor that went down last week. So go over there, show them some love. Pluggo and I will be in the chat there for a little bit. Until next week, you know the drill. Watch LPW 17 tomorrow night, 9 p.m. Eastern Time. Pluggo and I will be in the chat there as well. Until next Thursday, y'all, you know the drill.
Peace.
Peace out.
Violence.
Hey there, Pluggo and JPJ. It's Trent's mom, Sue, and I have a bone to pick with you. So, I understand that you guys are being real idiots and spending your entire monthly budget. You've got to be kidding me. This is not the way to be when you're trying to run a business. Your boss, Spencer, is really pissed off at you. I'm pissed off at you. You have some nerve. Get a grip. You have to control yourself. You can't just go out and spend all the money that you're making, you Two Beards guys. Oh no, this is coming out so stupid. Anyway, behave yourselves or I'm going to cut you off from watching AEW. You're no longer going to get to know, be able to meet my son. What? Or me. I'm sorry, this is like, I don't know. Anyway, thanks so much for being fans. Watch yourselves.